So this story did actually take place around 4 or 5 years ago now, and at that time I had this one friend who kind of lived close to an abandoned house. So on this day, I can remember what we did. We, went to school. I actually walked with that friend to school, and we was, just talking. We was talking about a lot of conspiracy theories as we was just me and him walking down one of the alleyways to get to school. I just want to say now, I do not speak to this friend anymore. I did actually see him once, before the old pandemic. He asked me how I was doing. I said, I'm alright. I'm chilling, bro. And yeah, we had a little conversation. What ends up happening is we're walking down this alley, and sometimes when you're with your friends, you end up. I don't know how many of you have had this or been in this situation, or you ever do this. It's just really, really deep in things, and just talking about a lot of horror stories and just creepy things that can actually happen. So what basically happened was we went on like this little tangent of basically talking about like creepy pastors and like abandoned places that we could visit. And my friend was like, "Oh, bro, do you know that abandoned house next to me? Apparently it's haunted, and apparently people still live in there." And I was like, "Bro, no way, no way, no way, no way, no one lives in that house." And he was like, "Yes, bro, they really do. I saw a woman walk out there the other day with chickens." So what actually ends up happening is me and my friend, we're just talking back and forth, and I'm just kind of like debating with him now, saying that there's nothing, there's no one in there, no one lives there, no one owns that. It's been neglected and abandoned for years. And he was like, "Bro, stop capping. There is people who live in there." And I was like, "Man, there really isn't. Like, I actually want proof." And he was like, "You know what? After school, we're going to actually end up going there." And I was like, I don't know about that, because at this point I did really kind of get creeped out, because I didn't know full well that he was, that he was being truthful, which he actually was. We go to school, we go through the whole day of school, everything's good, it's just a normal school day, we're having fun. So the end of school rolls round, and I normally meet this friend and a bunch of other people, and we end up walking back home. So I was, with my friend and with a bunch of other people, and we was basically talking to them, saying that, "Oh, we're going to go to that creepy abandoned place, because, some people knew about it as well." And they was like, "No way, you're not going in there." And me and my mate were like, "Oh yeah, we am." And at the time, my friend was like really, excited about it. He was like, oh yeah, we really are going in there, 100%. And he was like, "Oh, aren't we, Izak?" And I was like, yeah, we are going in there. And I was like, "Oh, you doing crazy, you're absolutely crazy." And I was like, not really, I don't think, anyway. So at this point I was kind of, a bit nervous and a bit scared. So we end up walking off from them friends, because some of them go a different way. We was actually walking across the park at this point, and there's a few entrances and exits from this park. So a few people go out the one entrance. Me and my friend, we have to walk with another friend over the park. We end up getting to the end of the park, and we, just talking amongst each other. Everything's going well. So anyways, after, maybe 15-20 minutes, I end up getting to my road, and I say, "Yo man, I'm gonna go on message you." And he was like, "Yeah, make sure you do message me, we're definitely going." And I was like, okay man, we're gonna go. Because at the start I kind of, made up a little story when I got to my road, and basically said, "Oh man, I don't know if I'll be able to come." And then after I was like, "You know what, let's just end up going anyway," because I didn't want to look like I was scared when I really was. And yeah, I get there my street, open the door, no one's in at this time, because my mum normally, got home around 6 p.m. So anyways, I end up going in my house, I get dressed, everything's good, and I do actually not remember to text my friend. I totally forget about it, forget texting my friend, because I was just, busy playing on Xbox and just chilling. So it comes to around 6 p.m. now, and my friend still didn't hit me up. I still totally forgot about that we was going there, and my mum does actually end up getting back. It was around 6:10. So my mum gets back, and she's like, "Oh, Izak, I've got your tea here." And as I was talking to my mum's saying, she's got me food. I do actually get a call from my friend, and he was like, "Bro, where have you been? Like, I've literally been trying to message you? And I was like, bro, I don't think you have. Like, I've literally got no messages from you. And he was like, bro, I'm pretty sure I messaged you at least 15 times as soon as I got home. And I was like, man, I swear then I have not had any messages. And he was like, oh, you're still coming? And I was like, yeah man, I'm literally just gonna eat up. I'm gonna eat my food, my mum's just got back. He was like, oh man, please hurry up, I don't want to be going over there when it's dark. Because at this point of, like, you know, season, it was dark nights. So yeah, it was around like November-ish kind of time. So yeah, it did actually get dark pretty early. So what ends up happening is I end up scranning my food. Yum 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 yum. The food was bugger. I actually had some really nice Chinese, you know, some chow mein. I end up eating all my food, yumming that down. And I do actually end up phoning my friend. I text him first. I'm like, bro, you there? Are you still going? And he's like, oh yeah man, I'm just gonna eat up. I'll message you in 15 minutes. So at this point, it's come to like 7:20. And I get a call from my friend. He's like, bro, meet me at the end of the road. So what actually ended up happening was I met my friend at the end of like my street, because he only lived literally like about not even 10 minutes, but around 10 minutes away. I'm just gonna say, just for an easy reference. So I end up, you know, going in my door. I get to the end of the road. I'm, you know, waiting there, and finally my friend turns up. I say, yo bro, safe, and he's like, man, what took you so long to message me? And I was like, bro, look, and I showed him my phone. I was like, you know, literally, I have got no messages from you, no snaps, no iMessages, none, okay, I got nothing from the guy. And he's like, bro, that's a bit strange. And I'm like, well, I did tell you, hopefully next time you will believe me. Me and my friend, we actually walk down the road. We go through some people's back gardens, which, you know, I really do not condone and I don't agree with. I would not probably do that now, but at the time we end up going through a few people's back gardens to actually get to this place, because it was kind of in a recluse, kind of, you know, a sketchy location. And I know a lot of people have been trying to get in there recently, as I've heard from, you know, like friends of, you know, siblings and that. Lots of people have been trying to get in there and have got injured. So yeah, it was pretty crazy as well. Someone fell out the top window and started doing the jellyfish on the floor. So I don't know. Yeah, they started doing some weird stuff over there, and apparently it's haunted and possessed really badly now, because, you know, worshippers and that have been in there. I don't know all about that jazz, but, you know, I was finding it a bit fishy when we did actually enter the location. So we end up, you know, getting to like these really tall metal, like you know, industrial gates. So we get to them gates, and I'm like, bro, how are we gonna get into this? And he's like, oh, easy man, we'll just jump the gate. And then, you know, when you kind of like slowly stare at something and look up because it was so tall. Yeah, that's exactly what I did, because these gates were so high up. Literally, I'm probably gonna say at least, you know, 12, 13 feet high, and that's pretty hard to climb. And I'm like, man, you know, I don't know if we're gonna get over here. And he's like, oh man, have good faith. We go to like the side and go into these bushes where my friend basically had like these old crates that he was keeping, because he's been over here quite a few times apparently, which I really didn't believe. So we end up going, I help him carry the crates out, and this basically probably, you know, gives us maybe 4 or 5 feet onto what we have to climb up, which makes it super easy from here, because, you know, we can put our hands on the bars and put our feet on the bottom of the bars and kind of pull ourselves up in a weird way, which I cannot really explain. Funny thing, to be honest, I was actually the first person to go over, and I can remember I get over and I'm like, you know, at the top. So I can remember I'm at the top, and at this point I literally, you know, slowly, you know, let myself down, like slide kind of down the metal poles of the gate, or whatever you want to call them. Then I end up jumping halfway and landing on the ground, like, you know, landing, and then, you know, I'm perfectly fine. So next, my friend, you know, he gets up to the top, and at this point, you know, side there's all, like trees, really tall trees, all different types with flowers on the sides and everything. To be honest, it was really beautiful, but it was really, desolate. And as we was walking up this path, I kind of had like an eerie feel throughout my whole body. And I asked my friend about it. I was like, bro, how do you feel? Like, do you feel like a weird vibe here? And he was like, yeah, bro, I really do feel a really, not good vibe, which I was kind of picking up to. So anyways, what does end up happening is, me and my friend, to be honest, I wish we had brought more people, but we just was not thinking. Well, I was, thinking a bit logical, but I wasn't thinking, that deep at the time. We ended up getting to like this really big abandoned building, and there was like a front door which looked really old and broke down, like a broke up one. Everything was broke up, the windows were smashed. So we get to this door and it has like a real, end up getting into the building, and we literally just end up walking round, and just, checking everything out. So I don't know why my friend started to do this, but there was literally, inside it looked like it had been like an old kind of, I don't know, aquarium. Like, it was pretty shady. Later on I did actually find out, a few, years later, I think it was like 2 years later, I found out that this used to be used by the local council to actually keep endangered animals and things like that. I should have mentioned that at the start of the video. But anyways, we were finding really weird, like, rock type things. To be honest, they kind of looked like snails, but they really wasn't. And they was really like hard and jagged, and it was just weird, kind of like a shell, but it was not a shell. So my friend started collecting these and literally throwing them at the wall. So I'm like, bro, if you don't stop, I'm gonna leave, because it's making a real big noise, like he was throwing them everywhere. And I was like, man, stop. So we go into the second floor, and this is where the weird eerie vibe starts to pick up, and it is just not nice. I felt like I was a bit, hallucinating. Like, I don't know what was going on. It was a mazza. It was mad. I did not like it at all. So I'm like, bro, I'm leaving. I'm not staying here. And you're like, oh, stop it, man. You're being a da-da-da-da-da. I don't want to say it, but, you're being a kitten. And I was like, man, just leave it, man. I'm gonna leave. I've got a bit of an headache now. Like, I don't want to stay in here. It's got a weird, eerie vibe. It smells muggy. You just don't feel good, man. It honestly can't be good. And looking back on the feeling now, I actually think it was possessed by, like, animals, because I think, a lot of animals may have passed in there. A lot of disease things may have been all over the place that we was just all trampling kind of near and round. So that could have been the reason why. I don't particularly know, but that was just something I was kind of, feeling at the time. So we leave this building after me kind of arguing with my friend. I was really getting heated with him, saying, bro, I'm leaving. If you're not coming, you can stay here on your own and get possessed by something. I am not staying here. And this is where it kind of gets a bit weird and funny by what the guy said that we encounter. So I do actually end up leaving the building with my friend. We walk round to the front, and we're literally just sitting on the floor now, on like these two rocks facing the actual building. So me and my friend were sitting there, and my friend still had some of like these weird shell / snail / jagged things. I don't know what there was. Quite big as well, to be honest. I'm not going to say there was really big, but I'd probably say there was, half the size of a Big Blackburn. Like an oak wooden door, probably expensive as well. I'd probably say, close to like $700, or around £900 for that door. Really good door as well. And I'm like, man, just stop. And he's like, bro, chill out. And as he was saying, bro, chill out, he had one in his hand and he threw it at like this light that had like really old kind of like lamp lights on the side of the wall. You see them in really big houses, them really, nice kind of lights, but these ones were really old. He ends up getting one of the snail shell things, and somehow he manages to hit one of these like snail shell things off the glass of one of these lights, and it literally just goes psh, 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 and it shatters everywhere. And I'm like, man, guy comes round and he's like, "Oi, what you boys doing round here?" And I'm like, "Oh God, bro, what have you done?" And he's like, "Man, shut up, I'm gonna speak to the guy." And I'm like, "You know what? You do you. Good luck with that." So I end up walking away. I don't even acknowledge the guy because I know something's probably gonna happen, and I was pretty scared as well of even being here. And imagine a guy just popping up from nowhere because of some ignore me. And I'm like, "Oh, what now?" And my friend's like, "Izak, get here." So my friend is talking to this guy now. I walk over kind of to them, and we're congregating in a like little three-way circle. And I'm with my friend talking to this guy, and we basically go to the guy. "Oh, we just we've come to check this out. Apparently it's abandoned and it's haunted." And the guy's like, "Leave the property, never come back. This is Harry Bogg's house." And I'm like, "You what?" And he's like, "Harry Bogg lives here. Leave the premises now. Harry Bogg will get angry." And I'm like, "You what, mate?" Whatever. So we say, to the guy, "Yeah, goodbye." And he was like, "How do you boys think you're getting out of here?" And he kind of changed up his accent. He was like, he had multiple personalities, to be honest. Because at the start, when he first spoke to us, he was speaking to us in kind of like a drunk way, like, "What are you boys doing here?" And then after, he was like, "How do you boys think you're getting out of here?" I'm like, and I kind of stutter a bit. I'm like, "The way we got in." And he was like, "Oh, don't think that's happening. I do not recommend that." And I was like, "Why not?" And he was like, "Oh, you can't go near them gates." And I'm like, "Why?" And he was like, "I don't want you boys to hurt yourself now, do I?" And I was like, "Thank you for looking out for us, but we'll just be going now." So me and my friend slowly start to like back up from this guy and jog towards the the gates, and we're kind of laughing to each other now because this guy literally switched his personality. He could have been from anywhere, and I've watched a few creepy videos and films and movies, and I've saw a lot of split personality films and things like that. I've watched The Visit, I've watched Split Personality where the guy has 22 personalities, and I just did not want to be in that predicament. At the time I never watched them because this was back like 4 or 5 years ago now, but later on I did, and we kind of always brought that fear to me that something like that could have happened to me or even my friend at the time because of the situation that we put ourselves in. So we jog towards the gates and we kind of giggling, laughing and everything, and the guy's like, "Boys, I warned you, don't go near them gates." And we're just like, "Oh, and we was doing that like the jerk off like thing towards him. We were like laughing at him, calling him names and that, and he was like, "Boys, I told you." And we was like, "Oh yeah, just go away, you weird guy, you creep, man. That guy's a creep." So we end up quickly getting up onto the gate. We end up jumping over the gate. I go first once again. My friend follows. He actually hits his leg off the crate and ends up falling over. And the guy was like, "Ha ha 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 ha, I warned you, boys." And I was like, "Bro, get up." And I'm like literally lifting my mate up now, and he's like, "Oh, bro, my ankle, oh, that gate, there's something wrong with that gate. Like, that gate is not a good gate. Like, is that gate possessed as well? Is that gate like haunted?" I doubt it, but anyways, we end up running back through the gardens. We end up coming out by some garages. We literally peg it to the shop. If you don't know what peg it means, it basically means run, like fast run. We get to the shops. I go in there, get myself a drink, some crisps, the Space Raiders when they used to be like 20p. Oh man, the good old times, they're 30p now. You're mad. But yeah, I really do hope you enjoyed this story. And if you are like watching this and you know where that place is because you live near to me, please do not go there. I do not recommend it. And that goes for anyone who lives near an abandoned place. Please do not go there because you don't know what type of people are lurking around in them areas. It's just not safe. And I was just a dumb, stupid kid at the time. So yeah guys, I really do hope you enjoyed. I hope this has, entertained you and also relaxed you. A lot more stories coming because I have a lot of horror stories, a lot of funny, crazy, creepy stories. was sitting outside the shop was when he said, "This is Harry Bogg's house," and that. And yeah, we'd make up creepy stories and say that people, were possessed in there, and people used to get really freaked out, like the younger people who'd want to go there. But yeah, there is a lot of psychos about, so stay well away from abandoned buildings. I love you all. If you enjoyed, please do not forget to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, turn on bell notifications on, and one like equals,